We're talking today with Brittney Weber of Grafton, Illinois. The interviewer is James Smither of the Grand Valley State University Veterans History Project. Brittney is in the American Legion Auxiliary here in Grafton, and she is also working with the National Memorial of Military Ascent here. And so those are the kinds of things that we'll cover today. Let's sort of begin at the beginning. Where and in what year were you born?
I was born in Alton, Illinois in 1980.
Okay. Did you grow up in Alton?
No, I grew up behind Pierre Marquette in Grafton, actually 1 mile from where I live now.
All right. What was your family doing for a living when you were a kid?
My father was self-employed, iron worker and contractor, and my mother worked for an insurance company.
All right. Now, did your family have any kind of military background? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
My grandfather served in World War II, and lots of uncles, great-uncles, did also. My father was in the Air Force, and my brother is a Marine. So.
Okay. And just as you were growing up and these people were around, did you have any interest in what they had done or anything like that? Or
I did like to hear my grandfather's stories, what he would tell, and that intrigued me.
All right. And what did he do in that war?
I'm not exactly sure everything that he did, but I know that he landed in Normandy about 6 months later after D-Day.
Okay.
And he was in the Army.
Okay. And so you would have probably gotten into Germany, and do you remember if he was in the occupation or any of that? Or just
I'm not sure.
They didn't really tell a lot of stories
No.
About that. And then was your father in the Air Force before you were born? Or
Yes, he was in the Air Force before I was born. He joined on his own right before the end of Vietnam. So he actually did not go to Vietnam, but he still served.
Okay. All right. And then when did you finish high school?
Myself?
Yeah.
1998.
Okay.
I graduated from Jerseyville High School.
Okay. And what did you do when you got out?
I immediately went to the community college in Godfrey and studied art education. Graduated with an associate's and continued to get married and have children.
Okay. Yeah. Were you ever able to apply the art education degree anywhere?
Yes, I have made pottery for about 20 years and have sold it locally and continue to make it.
All right. Now, at what point did you get involved with the Legion?
I decided to go back to college when I was about 30, and I went to school for an organizational leadership degree. And our thesis we had to come up with at the very end. We could pick any topic, and I decided to pick United States Veteran Healthcare Satisfaction.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Now, so is there an organization with that name, or was that just the general topic?
Just the topic.
Okay. So what did you wind up, when you were researching that, what did you wind up doing? Or what were you looking at?
I did lots of surveys in the area, and I volunteered a lot with my local auxiliary just to get a feel for what our veterans go through. And it started a next chapter of my life.
Okay. So what does the Legion Auxiliary actually do?
We are there to support our Legion and our local veterans and our local community.
Okay. And what kinds of things can you do for them?
We do a lot of fundraisers. Every year we raise money to buy gifts for all of our local nursing home veterans and anyone that needs any help. If they ask us, we try to do our best to support them in any way. Money, or if they need something purchased, or food, or...
Do they ever need help, like negotiating with the VA or anything like that, so you can route them in the right direction?
Yes. Not necessarily the auxiliary, but our Legion does.
Okay. And so you research them, you connect with them. Do you just join up at that point yourself, or?
The Legion has always been kind of a home base for a lot of people in our town, and I just decided I wanted to start volunteering there.
Okay.
And it continued. It still is home base.
Okay. All right. And so what do you do for them now?
I am the secretary for the auxiliary.
Okay. And what actual work do you do?
I do membership liaison. I also try to take care of all of our meetings that we have and keep the flow going with the meetings. I take all of the notes, and it's quite a bit of a big job, actually.
Okay. I don't know, how often do they meet?
We meet once a month.
Okay. All right. And then you got involved then with this whole scheme for the National Memorial of Military Ascent. Okay, first of all, explain a little bit what is that? What is your concept of it?
It's a memorial that we're trying to build, we will build, in honor of our veterans nationwide, worldwide. But I personally want to do it to educate our youth. They really need to know what our military has been through over the years.
Yeah, and we still have one and occasionally have to use it.
Yes.
So that certainly helps too, yeah. So just in case this is the first interview about this somebody has seen, can you describe what you're trying to build?
We are trying to build a World War II memorial on the bluff face in our small town, which is a tourist town, that we bring in a lot of people every weekend, over 20,000, and it's a good start to get people to learn about this.
All right. And if people are driving by, what will they see?
They'll see life-size bronze sculptures on the side of our bluffs.
All right. So you're having soldiers like the Army Rangers in the Army, they're climbing up the bluff. And then what will you have in addition to the sculptures?
We plan to have also a memorial that represents each branch of the military. We also plan to have a museum that will be an experience museum. We'll have films for different wars and different occupations to show people what actually has happened. They'll feel like they're in the middle of it. Might not be good for everyone, but definitely a learning experience.
Okay. And the idea, and the physical setting of this Grafton is on the banks of the Mississippi, and you've got these great limestone cliffs going up one side and the water's on the other. And so anyone driving along that road is going to see these guys going up. So, what's that?
Hopefully they'll pull in.
And they'll pull in, and they will find out. Okay, what do you think the memorial can do sort of for the community?
I think it can do a lot. Expand our community greatly, bring a lot more people in worldwide, not just local St. Louisans or whatever. But I think it's going to do a lot. I think we'll have to maybe branch out our little town of Grafton. We're kind of landlocked as it is, so.
All right. That really pretty much covers the basics of what we needed to do. I guess, what would you say to people, I might want to come see this or whatever? How would you encourage them to come and take a look?
It's a once-in-a-lifetime monument, I think, that people would gladly want to see. And especially if they don't know anything about it, they can learn more there.
All right.
And if you stand at the bottom of the bluffs right now without any, it's emotional, just looking up. So
Yeah, it is a remarkable setting. This whole area here is. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in and sharing that story today.
Thank you.